This presentation is entitled, What Influences People to Buy? What online customers value are fast shipping, preferably free, easy return process, first-rate customer service, believable reviews of products or services, and tailored or personalized email to the customer. Offline as well as online customers value about every product or service. What are the specific benefits that are more important than age and other demographic factors? For example, people who buy toothpaste do so for 4 primary reasons: the sensory stimulation of flavor and an exciting product appearance; socially conscious people seeking bright white teeth and a pleasing smile; conservers seeking to prevent tooth decay; and price shoppers wanting low prices. How consumers prefer to get information. Email is the top choice at over 70%, postal mail, television ads, print media, text messages, social media, in-person conversation or consultation, phone calls, online mobile, online video ads, pre-roll ads on sites like YouTube and Vine, mobile apps, none, 9%. Then let's look at, when it comes to trust, here's what people say they trust. Recommendations from people they know, 92%. Consumer opinions posted online, 70%. Editorial content such as newspaper articles, 58%. Websites, 58%. Email that they sign up for, 50%. Ads on TV, 47%. And down through the 40s, brand sponsorships, ads in magazines, billboards and outdoor advertising, ads in newspapers, ads on radio, ads before movies, TV program product placements, ads displaced in search engine results, online video ads in the 30s, ads on social media, online banner ads, display ads on mobile devices, text ads on mobile devices. So there are lots of opportunities for finding people who trust some media. Now let's look at how we sort ourselves into generations. The silent generation, people between the ages of 74 and 81, born between 1925 and 1942. Baby boomers, 56 to 73 years of age, born between 1943 and 1960. Generation X, born between 1961 and 81 and ages 35 to 55. Millennials, 13 to 34, between 1982 and 2003, and Generation Z, Centennials, or the Connected Generation, 12 and under. Here's some key facts about generations. Millennials are more desired consumers than boomers. Only 15% of businesses cater to millennials, and 84% of millennials say they are influenced by reviews compared to 70% of boomers. What you can learn from demographics and psychographics. One level of listening on social media are likes, interests, and habits. This kind of information can be learned from Facebook, Google, etc. Another level of social listening is personally identifiable information known as PII, which includes users by name and addresses for each name, including email addresses, IP addresses, and user addresses. With this information, user experiences can be customized and media strategies targeted on a person-by-person basis. This can be used to message consumers across multiple social media platforms. Not all platforms, however, accept personal data. Companies can easily match their customer profiles with available demographic data. Which platforms have the most influence on their consumers? Social media preferences such as Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, Instagram. Search engines used, Google, Bing, Yahoo. Video channels watched, such as YouTube, Tremor, and Brightwell. What more can you learn from demographics and psychographics? There are 2 primary means of targeting media using psychographic cues: finding keywords and phrases that match customers' interests. Most media platforms allow this tactic, and then overlying psychographic data with third-party data companies. This data can be expensive and must be tested for quality. 46% of consumers prefer online shopping channels. Physical stores, over half, 54%. Shopping on the desktop, 33%. By mobile, 8%. And app, 4%. And voice control services, 1%. What influences people to buy? Online reviews of your business, your website, and yet almost 50% of businesses still do not yet have one. Being findable on social media sites like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, WhatsApp, Google+, Snapchat, and YouTube. Facebook still gets more traffic than the others. Shoppers who use social media to make a buying decision are 29% more likely to make a purchase the very same day. 81% of consumers go online before going to stores, and that number is up 20% from the previous year. On average, consumers spend 79 days of gathering information before making a major purchase. More influences on consumer buying behavior. Unless you are selling electricity, heat, or food and water to people in dire straits, you're selling more than a product. You're fulfilling some need or needs that you best not express directly. Some of these influencers were identified through the work of Dr. Robert Cialdi. People who dislike the burden of decision-making want to be guided into making a decision. People want to know your expertise. What makes you an authority? Knowledge, trustworthy. Some may ask directly, what do you recommend? People who are decided. It's because they have experience with your product or service or have been influenced by online research and what others have told them, etc. People want to know what everyone else is doing. And reciprocity and reciprocation influences people feeling obligated by favors and concessions. Here are more factors influencing what people buy. Recognizing that 90% of our thinking is below the level of consciousness, by incorporating psychology and marketing, marketers are seeking to engage with their buyers at an emotional level in multiple ways, like providing hope, motivation, sensory appeal, an heirloom or collectible, affiliation or belonging, reducing anxiety, providing rewards, nostalgia, good design, wellness, fun, attractiveness, access, saving time, simplifying, reducing risk, organizing, sensory appeal, reduces effort, avoiding hassles, offering quality and variety. Over 70% of marketers don't use behavioral data to target consumers. Understanding how people react can make you more persuasive. When you make a request, even a silly one, offer a reason, and overwhelmingly you will get what you ask for. Most people like to comply with requests. When talking or speaking or appearing on visual media, presenters who have the palms of their hands showing are viewed as likable and friendly, and what they say is remembered 40% more than people who don't. Using an index finger provokes a negative response and the least retention. The more options people have, the more difficulty they have deciding. Narrow the options you offer to 3, whether online, in print, or in negotiations. The fear of loss is twice as intense as our anticipation of gain. In a diplomatic way, describe what people stand to lose. More understandings to make you more persuasive. Colors, sounds, and fragrances trigger emotional and physical responses. In grocery stores, flowers and bakeries are near the entrance. Placing time limits on offers and specials for a limited time only prompts a sense of immediacy to act on the moment. Explaining your product or what you do within the context of a story heightens persuasiveness. Stories draw listeners to feeling like a participant rather than as a spectator. Making what you say and write personal improves your chances of relating to a customer, so using you is to be done. When you have several products or packages, show the most expensive one first. This increases the chance the lower price will seem reasonable. Mirroring the posture, mannerisms, and voice tones helps create rapport. It occurs naturally when people are in sync with one another. We know something about consumer preferences by where they live. Urban dwellers like tofu and meat derivatives, specialty Eastern food, coconut water, soya drinks, specialty Japanese food. Suburbanites like makeup accessories, frozen bread dough, salad toppings, sport nutrition bars, luncheon and meat sticks. And rural residents buy lots of dry and wet dog food, processed cheese spreads, canned meat and poultry, and luncheon meats. Altercasting and the art of persuasion. Altercasting is a technique that predisposes people to act the way you want them to. Professor David Cantor identified 4 types of participants in conversations: movers, opposers, followers, and bystanders. Movers are leaders. The latter 3 groups are cautious or even belligerent to change. Learn more about this at changingminds.org. How to use product recommendations to encourage purchase behavior. Product recommendations are an integral part of the online shopping experience. It's not uncommon when shopping for one thing you stumble upon other items you also want or need. Customers who look at product recommendations generate 180%, that's 2.8 times higher revenue per visitor, and 20% larger average order value. So it's worthwhile to devote space on your website to recommendations to help users move from window shoppers to buyers. To do this, make sure recommendations display consistently across desktop, mobile, and email channels, and consider using different items, layout strategies, and recommendations at different stages of the customer journey on your website. The idea is to show the right products to the right people at the right time. The challenge is identifying people with products they need. Data from social media and other sources can help you do this. Combine different recommendation strategies to identify what works best for each product category. Doing this can yield 147% higher conversions to sales. Finding influencers. BuzzSumo is an online tool that helps you find, analyze, and follow influencers. First, you determine the topic you're interested in. You can also see what has worked for opponents. BuzzStream enables you to build a list of influencers and develop relationships with them. Software for finding influencers comes from companies like Analytica, Tap Influence, and Web Influential. You can find influencers using social media channels such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. And you can also pay specialists to do this work for you. Now let's consider how people handle email. Having an empty inbox means checking mail about 25 times a day, having one's email program open at all times. All mail is either responded to, archived, or delegated, that is, sent to someone else. 36% of people practice a zero inbox policy. This translates into 57% of people being most likely to respond to your email within 5 to 6 minutes, compared with 46% of people who do not have a zero index policy. Who reads their email and when? While on vacation, 19% frequently check their email, 39% never do, 43% check their email occasionally. Does getting work email make people feel important? 43% of people say yes, 57% say no. The younger people are, the more significance email has. It's significant with 55% of millennials, 31% of Gen Xers, and 18% of boomers. Here's some email possibilities. Both Facebook and Twitter accept small email lists, allowing businesses to send targeted messages to users. Google Customer Match, you can upload email addresses to Google and message your customers across Google Search, YouTube, and Gmail. Email marketing. Subscribers can be served offers based on a mix of personal, that is first party, and behavioral data. Cookie and email data can be used to create a company's total approach. Personal data can be used to shape an advertiser's creative landing pages, websites, and emails. Vendors can take in email and cookie data and serve different versions of creative content based on individual users. Creative specializations can include featured products, variable price points, coupons and promotions, different calls to action, and geography-based content. Telephone plays a role. 31% of calls convert to sales versus 2% of web leads. While not Americans' favorite source of marketing information, phone calls can be 7 times more valuable in getting forms filled out. Almost 51% of people are now wireless only, meaning they rely on smartphone or mobile phones as their primary form of communication. The remaining 49.2% still use traditional landlines that plug into the wall, but this number is shrinking as smartphone use grows. What things cause a small business to not get customers? First, not having a website. Second, not having a business phone number. Only accepting cash or checks or accepting only PayPal. Not keeping standard hours of operation. Not giving back to the community. Not selling goods or services made in the U.S. Operates only online and not having an office or storefront. And not having a social media presence. Any and all of those factors can hurt a business in terms of being able to fully be findable on the web. This video is part of a series on local marketing. It's an element in the foundation for the consulting and training I do. I acknowledge with appreciation what I have learned from sources such as HubSpot, Google, Internet Retailer, Social Media Examiner, MECLabs, Social Media Week, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter Business, Pinterest Business, LinkedIn Business, Pew Research Center, and YouTube Business. My website is localmarketing.center and email homeplus99@gmail.com. I can be reached at 800-726-8847. In closing, keep in mind that to reach consumers today, we must work smarter than marketers did in past years. I hope these ideas surprise you with new ideas to communicate with customers more effectively.